Welcome back to Center Stage. Everybody, we're talking with actor, writer, and director Alan Alda. We have a little something on the show we call Did You Ever? All right, here we go. Did you ever steal anything?
Not that I can remember.
Okay.
Your Honor.
Did you ever get jealous of a pig?
No, I got pissed at a pig once.
How come?
He bit my little finger. I was feeding him. We had a pig on this ranch we had, and I was feeding him, and he bit me. He didn't mean to, but I didn't like pigs much after that.
He later became bacon.
Yeah, yeah.
Did you ever eat an entire pizza by yourself?
Oh, sure. Didn't you?
Yeah. Did you ever catch on fire in a play?
Yes, I did.
How?
Well, I was on stage by myself, complaining about my girlfriend to the audience, and I lit a cigarette, but I didn't know how to smoke. And I did like that with the match, but I was wearing a robe made out of acetate. And the glowing head of the match lit the robe up, and it was opening night, and the critics were there, and there's this sheet of flames coming off my robe. And I think to myself, oh, this is going to get a big laugh. That's you brought up in show business. You don't think I'm going to die. You think I'm going to get a laugh. So they didn't get a laugh, but I got mentioned in the reviews for doing anything on stage to attract attention to myself.
Did you ever, Alan, have emergency surgery in Chile and tell the surgeon exactly what he was going to do?
Yeah, because he was going to do an operation that I had done on MASH. And he was kind of shocked. You know, he didn't, where did you know? How do you know what I'm going to do? But it saved my life, and it was wonderful. It was 11 years ago, and my life is different since then.
How come?
I really still manage to be glad to be alive. I used to be glad to be alive, but when you come so close to dying where you think, they're putting me under now, and I might not wake up from this, when you do wake up, there's a euphoria that comes over you that if you can hang on to it, it's a wonderful feeling. I can't imagine any other feeling better than being glad to be alive.
Very cool. Did you ever want to punch another actor or director in the mouth?
No.
No. Never. All right, when you were, I mean, every day, because you're so famous and iconic, you ever walk past a mirror, wink, and go, yeah, I got it going on?
Don't you?
Oh, just before I came out.
Well, you want an answer?
Yes.
No. No, I look at myself in the mirror. Arlene's always telling me, I caught you looking in the mirror. Well, of course you look in the mirror. Everybody looks in the mirror. Come on.
All right, 1979, you wrote and starred in a political film, The Seduction of Joe Tynan.
Yeah.
And a young rising actress, Meryl Streep, was in that. Did you think she was going to be great?
Oh, yeah. Oh, she was
right away.
Clearly a spectacular actress. And it was great fun working with her. We got to be pals. We went to see plays together while we were shooting the movie. She's a really, really fine actress and a lovely person.
Now, I had read that right before filming began, her fiancé had died.
Yeah.
And she said that there's nobody that she could have thought of that she would have worked with that could have been kinder and more gentler than Alan.
Well, that's very nice of her. But I really felt for her because he had died just a few months before, and she had to play love scenes with me, which must have been disturbing for her. Mm-hmm. Would be disturbing anyway.
Now, Woody Allen recruited you to play kind of a pompous celebrity TV performer in Crimes and Misdemeanor.
I finally got to play myself.
There you go. What was Woody like to work with?
Woody is wonderful. He's a genius, and I just loved it. I made 3 pictures with him, and I loved it. But he didn't talk much. You and I have talked far more than he and I talked for over 3 pictures.
Really?
Yeah.
He's not a hands-on director?
I think he just doesn't like to talk, so he doesn't talk. But he after 3 pictures we did a scene. You know, he doesn't direct you. He doesn't say do more like this. So you just do the best you can, and then it's kind of improvisational, and it turns out great. He has great performances. His actors win awards. So at the end of one scene, after 3 years, he finally said to all 8 of us in the scene, he said, "That stunk." And I thought, I wish he would go back to the other way.
Then you began hosting a PBS show. We mentioned at the start, Scientific American Frontiers. What's the draw there? You're so into science, Alda.
I love science. Yeah, I always have. I don't know what it is. I mean, I just love it, and I can tell you my feelings when I read about science is awe and fascination, and this amazement that I feel that scientists can take a little bit of information and figure out something very complex, like what's the chemistry of a star, millions of light years away. That's amazing. I mean, I can't figure out the chemistry of a cup of tea.
2004, you returned to TV and joined the cast of The West Wing.
Yeah.
You were really, really good in that show.
Thank you. I loved it.
What drew you to that? I mean, just the great writing and...
Oh, yeah, well, it was a wonderful show, and they called me up and said, would you like to be a character that runs for president on the show? And I go, what a wonderful thing. And what I loved was that although probably the political point of view of most people who wrote the show was on the liberal or Democratic side, when they wrote the character I played, who was a Republican, they wrote him with respect, and they gave him arguments that were solid arguments. And I think it elevated the conversation, at least on television for a while, between the two points of view. And if you don't have a respectful dialogue between those 2 points of view, you don't get anywhere. And it slows down progress.